Hey, everybody, welcome to Noir Bar. It's been a while. And joining me here at the bar is Jack. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I've been up for a long, long time. I'm coming up on 20 hours.
No, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Soon you'll be hallucinating.
Yes. And more than that, uh, my sleep last night wasn't worthy of the name sleep.
Hmm.
Uh, oh well. I mean, who?
That happens.
Yeah, it does. I just hate waking up to annoying phone calls that are like, "So are you going to be there?" And I'm like, "Beware." And they're like, "Well, we have a meeting today, a departmental meeting. I was just wondering if you were going to be there or not." And I'm like, "Oh, right." And see, that's why you write things in a scheduler.
Or just wing it and find out what happens.
Well, yeah. I'm lucky that I got that phone call. Otherwise, would have missed a departmental meeting and would have gotten told off later on. And nobody
But
wants that.
would you really have missed it? Like,
Personally,
just be like, I was there. I don't know what you're talking about.
you know what? You got a good point. Would I have missed it? No. Would I have been missed? Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, hey, Pop Tart's here. Hey, Pop Tart. Uh, yeah, Rich, is it? This stream's not real. It's just a dream. God, I've got a sadly deficient fantasy life, huh? Just dreaming about streaming. And Gilcato's here, and well, Gilcato was moving. I wonder if he finished all that off. And Pop Tart said she wanted to hang out the other night. She had a night off, and so what does she do? She goes to bed early.
That's what it's like being an adult.
That's what it's like dealing with women. You just can't trust them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. In any case, so what did you do today, Jack?
You really want to know?
Yeah, I
All right.
asked.
So I slept in for a while because I actually got to sleep at a reasonable hour, which was around noon.
That was the
So
unreasonable hour.
no, that was the reasonable hour.
Oh, reasonable. Okay.
Yeah, and I slept till about 5 and worked on some videos. Then I went and did some research. Then what else did I do? Went and got some food. Went to the local Goodwill to check see if they had any good old stuff that I might be able to use. They usually have really good books because I'm near a university.
Right.
So every now and then you find some old D&D books or something like that, and some board games, that sort of thing. And then worked on some more videos, read some comics, did some reading, went over and visited with some family, and then I kind of stayed around here staring off into space until you messaged me because I was in the middle of doing research that was super boring.
Well, goddamn, man, you had a full day.
Yeah, it was actually pretty busy because there's a lot of sitting in front of monitors and a microfilm machine.
I, I, they actually still have microfilm,
Yep.
like microfiche.
Yep.
What were you looking at? Newspapers from the 1900s?
Close. Yeah. 1890.
Oh, damn! They haven't put that. They haven't transferred their microfiche to digital PDF yet.
Nope.
Oh,
There's surprisingly a large number of newspapers that have never done that yet. They just either haven't gotten to them, or the funding isn't there, or there's no desire to.
yeah, I guess so. It's
You'd be amazed how many newspapers are like that. Like my newspapers.com subscription's running out, so I had to hurry up and do some research for a
Mhm.
project I'm working on. And I was like, well, I need this article from this paper. Time to get in the car and go over to an actual library where I know they have this on microfilm and look at it because fucking newspapers.com doesn't have it.
You know, it's funny you bring up newspapers. I ran into this undergrad that's part of a class at a. I'm not even the TA for that class, but I've become like the quasi TA because I'm doing a research assistantship for the professor who is teaching the class. And he asked me if I could help out one day, and so the students are like coming to me like as if I'm the TA, and that's kind of annoying. But anyway, got in this conversation. It's like, so are newspapers primary sources or not? And it's like, kind of. It depends. Is there another source for the material? Is it an original interview that you don't have access to the interview transcript? If so, then the answer is yes. But just quoting somebody because they were printed in a newspaper, the answer is no. Unless, of course, it's a historical newspaper from like 1890, like you said, in which case it will be. He's like, so is it a primary source or not? I have to use primary sources for this paper.
Well, yeah, it depends what you're doing,
Yeah,
asshole.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, well, like I said, man, it really depends. What time period are you working in? And he says several. And it's like, you know what? Go talk to the professor. I'm literally not paid for this right now.
This sounds like a not me problem. Out.
Oh fuck. Yeah, all I did. Well, your day sounds more interesting than mine. All I did was admin bullshit all day. Appointments, and then attended a dustingly dry departmental meeting where I didn't say a single word, but they need you there anyway because
Yeah, you gotta show up and look pretty.
But you got to show up so they can say that they had grad student involvement. I mean, your involvement is having a butt in a seat. If you speak up, you'll your opinion is not needed here. It's
great. I've discovered whenever you're in a meeting where there's more than just you because you're in trouble, it's best to say as little as absolutely possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's fine to take that position. It's say as little as possible, but you can throw your own opinion in there if only to make the time move faster. Because sitting there listening to people that just love to listen to themselves talk. I mean, I have to do that on a stream. You think I want to do it while I'm working? No, nothing.
Well,
all right, moving on.
I don't want to contribute anything because then you're in trouble. Somebody will argue with you inevitably. Maybe this is just me. And then if they don't argue with you, they'll think your idea is stupid.
Well, all their ideas actually are stupid. So there's remember I said Gokado was moving? He actually made it to Indonesia, so that's good. Congratulations.
Oh, you're in Indonesia?
Yeah, he packed up from Aussie land and is off to Indonesia. And Evolved Potato seems rather disappointed. It's just you and I, Jack. Sorry about that, Evolved Potato. People have been demanding, where's Far? Where's Far? Like, how long has she gone? It's like, well, Far was off in Japan, and I think she's back now, but she needs her settling time. You know what I mean?
No, she doesn't. This doesn't work. You could be streaming from Japan.
Well, she thought about that, actually. She's like, maybe I should take my mic. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't have taken your mic. That's a vacation, man. Take your... have your me time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know where she is tonight. But, like I said, she just got back, so she needs her settling time. I'm sure she's hanging out with her girlfriend, with Platty. So, I shall not bother them. And there goes Evolved Potato with our links, and that is greatly appreciated, our Streamlabs links.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, Jack, let's talk about I Led 3 Lives.
Okay.
Do you know of this show?
No.
Okay. It's a 1950s show about Philbrick.
Is this the spy, counter spy, double trickster, flapjack spy?
That's the one. Herbert A. Philbrick. That's just the greatest name ever. He lives 3 lives: a common citizen, advertising executive, a high-ranking member of the Communist Party, and counter spy for the FBI. It is the best Red Scare show ever. The entirety of the show is available on YouTube. So I strongly suggest, chat, you go watch it. This and you watch it, it's got some real great, like, corny value to it. Like the entertainment isn't how cheesy it is, if that makes sense. We need an updated Red Scare show. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we've got enough pro-commie shit out there. Is it really so bad that we have some anti-commie shit?
Yeah, you'll get canceled.
Well, you'll get canceled anyway. Because, from wokeness, no one's watching. Look at what's happening to Batwoman.
Yeah, well. She redistributed everything from Batman, including his love of women.
Did you hear how that show goes down? Where she comes out?
I heard about it briefly, and I just thought I tuned out what was being said because, like, I don't give a fuck about this.
I mean, get this, chat. You got this character Batwoman who's is a lesbian, like canon lesbian, right? And so they hire a lesbian actress to play her because, come on, representation, am I right?
Oh, she's bi because she wasn't gay enough. Remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a big problem for some of the show media.
Okay. She wasn't gay enough, so she went bi?
No, no, the actress is bi,
Okay.
which made her not gay enough.
Oh, I thought Ruby Rose was just straight butch gay.
No, apparently she's bi. I don't know. Maybe she identifies as gay now, but that was an issue for a while. I think Mary Sue covered that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that they're the ones. I remember people complaining that, like, why do they have to hire Ruby Rose every time they need like a gay actress? And it's like specifically because she's known as the gay actress. They hired her to signal that they hired a gay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's either her or what's her name, Ellen.
yeah, and Ruby Rose is way hotter than Ellen.
Yeah. Now, smaller forehead too.
Yeah, yeah, less Neanderthal headbutting ability.
Oh,
But
wait a minute. Assassin of Cray says, I shilled the show. That reminds me, I didn't. I,
thank you, Assassin.
I had a tweet already, and then and there it is, just waiting to be tweeted, and didn't do anything about it. Jack, do you want to throw up the link to the stream in the side chat for me here, real quick?
Sure.
All right. So anyway, the way that she comes, like, how is it you're gonna have a character come out in a show where everybody knows that she's already gay? What's to come out over, if you know what I mean? And so the way they did it is that a journalist inside the show interviews Batwoman, and Batwoman comes out as gay.
Oh my god, that's even dumber than I thought it was.
I can't bring myself to watch that episode, man. Like, can you imagine, like, Batwoman sitting there with, like, her red hair, the bat costume, the whole thing, and sitting there going, and yeah, I love me some ladies. Do you want to throw up the link to the stream?
Damn, I was listening to two other people talk about this
All
group of us at the comic shop, right? And they were talking about Batwoman, and I was like, I don't really care about this conversation, so I'm kind of doing my own thing. I did not hear them mention that. That is even fucking dumber than how it went in my head. No, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, man. Because how else are you gonna do it? Like, maybe what, she comes out to a supervillain when fighting her. All of her friends would already know that she's gay, and the point
No,
isn't that the character is gay. The point is that Batwoman is gay. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So she has to be in costume coming out. And this
No,
is
I got this covered. See, she's fighting a supervillain. They both go to kick at the same time, accidentally scissor, and then they both like it. It's bad, sexy action.
that's exactly what they're not gonna do, is provide us any proper fetishization of lesbians material. They're gonna make it, boring and
The whole
uninteresting.
thing's fetishization.
Well, the whole character was intended by Jeff Johns, I think.
I don't remember who created this iteration of Kathy Kane, but she's been around for a long time, since like the 50s or something. She was in the old timey ones. She just wasn't gay.
Yeah, I mean
She
the
was
new.
like
I
a
mean
love interest,
the new lesbian version. I think was Jeff Johns.
probably. It's just another pandering mess.
Well,
But at least she's a
yeah.
likable character in the comics, for the most part.
Have you watched any of the show?
I saw one episode and some clips from other episodes, and I just don't give a shit. I
Oh,
don't care at all about this character.
oh man, it's. I find it insufferable.
Yeah, it
It-
was torturous.
what made me ask you that is, you said at least she's a likable character. Not in this show, she's not.
No, in the comics,
Yeah.
she's fairly likable. You know,
Mm.
they make her a little more human.
Hey, Manix here. How's it going? I yes, we want to turn this into comic book curation, but hey, fuck it. I mean, get a couple of comic book nerds together, and it's going to happen. Am I right?
Do we have anything better going on?
In our lives? No, we really don't.
No. We'll talk about a Bigfoot sighting. We can do
Fuck
that.
yeah. Where?
Oh, hold on,
Seattle?
look at the article.
What's that?
No, now we're talking about it. Distract the audience for 30 seconds while I pull up the article.
30 seconds? Oh my god.
Yeah, my internet's fucking garbage tonight.
That's so long, Jack. Fucking bat woke. Yeah.
Well, we're almost there now.
Well, have you seen Star Trek Picard yet?
No, I have no interest.
No? We're doing the Star Trek stream over on Blind Press's channel tomorrow, and they want to get together and like watch it together, so I haven't seen it either yet myself. A big
This is Stunlock Joe sent this to me. Fucking autoplay ads.
Oh, really? That is the bane of live streams, man.
I know, I fucking hate it.
Chat, you have no idea how badly it can, like, if you have a slow computer or a shitty internet connection or anything like that, all the fucking ads that they all start running and all this shit starts playing. Ugh. Thank you very much for the tip, Manic, with just the message of Polly. Well, thank you, Manic. Donations to the bartender and are always greatly appreciated. And Jack, do you have the stream up so you see all the sexy noir pop-ups that I've done?
Yeah, but every time I look at it, it's just the martini glass.
Because you look late?
I just don't pay that close of attention.
Oh, well, that one, Manic tripped one of my favorites. Jessica Alba and her noir stripper gear, picking up the bottle of vodka and slugging right out of the bottle. And the camera.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, and the camera pans up her sexy little self. Yeah. I think there's 3 different Jessica Alba pop-ups, whatever you want to call them. I'm a fan.
All right, so this happened in Washington State.
Well, I guess Seattle, so I was close.
Yeah, you were. Stunlock Joe sent this to me. It says the title is Another Sasquatch Sighting. WS Dot says creature spotted near Snoqualmie Pass. I don't know how to, but something Indian.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington State Department of Transportation tweeted photos and videos of what it said might be a Sasquatch at Snoqualmie and Sherman Passes. Do you believe in the Sasquatch? The Washington State Department of Transportation is trying to convince you that you should. Several tweets have shown what the state doc says is Bigfoot on or near mountain passes in Washington. This was on Wednesday. They did this apparently. The sighting was caught by a traffic camera pointed towards State Route 20 on Sherman Pass on Wednesday, and it shows a Sasquatch-like figure near a tree. I'm not superstitious, just a little stituous, the person running the account said in the tweet.
I read ahead of that. Do you get that? That really bad joke? I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
Yeah, well, it's not funny. It's a dad joke.
That's like great grandpa joke, man. That's bad. Come on, let's appreciate how bad that is.
Oh, I mean, no,
like Zelthor's laughing his ass off. That's how bad of a dad joke that is. Okay.
I'll throw the link in chat for people. If
I've got it up on the screen right now.
Oh, you do? Yep. Awesome. Why are you reading it?
Well, I could be. I don't know. You were reading, and I'm sitting back here cutting limes. I'm a bartender. I don't know.
Fair enough. WS.East tweeted on Thursday that crews were headed over to Sherman Pass again with a chance to see Bigfoot. They made several passes and even stopped at the top of the summit near the camera to see if they could find the Sasquatch. With no luck. This is just an excuse for them to dick around.
Look at this picture, chat. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's just it's so bad. It's a good thing they put the red circle there, otherwise, you know.
Yeah, it's not. Bigfoot lives in blurry areas. That's just a fact.
You know what bugs me is you look at the trees here, right, and you see how sharp they all are. All the resolution's great. The shadows of the long shadows of the trees here, and then there's Sasquatch, and it's all like hyper blurry. Like what?
Yeah, he's always in motion. He's the Zapruder film of creatures. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Manic, who said, Jack! Manic! Thank you. Appreciate it, man. So yeah, the person running the Twitter account said it appears Bigfoot is making the round across mountain passes with another sighting on Thursday on the I-90 wildlife crossing near the pass. And that's pretty much the entire article. And there's another damn autoplay. Exit out.
Oh, there's so many autoplays on this channel, man. I just.
Well, that's how they make their money.
Oh, here's the classic one, the original 1971 Sasquatch.
Oh yeah, the Patterson Gimli footage.
Yeah, where he's got that classic stride pose.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's actually a female, supposedly.
She's
got boobies.
A female Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Do female gorillas have boobs?
I don't know. I don't pay that much attention at the zoo. Gorillas will peer at you and gaze into your soul, man. I'm not starting shit with them. They're violent and mean because they have tiny dinkers.
Don't let them fucking dominate you, man. Stare them right down. You're the
fuck no, they get all aggressive and shit. I know my luck and animal escapes who they coming for. Me. I'd rather be like, oh, let me check you for fleas.
No, fuck that noise, man. You're the apex hunter. You've got the power of the mind. You can make firearms and improvised weaponry. You stare them down, man.
I saw Planet of the Apes. That ain't gonna be how it plays out. I'm gonna be their bitch or their dinner, and I'd rather not get beaten to death by a gorilla. Yeah, giant fat nerd killed by gorilla today at the zoo. Freak accident. Thing went right back in his cage afterward. News at 11. That'll be how it plays out.
Okay.
And then he was eaten by lemurs, you know.
Eaten by lemurs. That's like being eaten by rats. Lemurs are fucking small, man. They're like the size of a large river
which
rat.
Is why it would be about my luck. Them or mercats. That's how I figure I'll go.
Devoured by mercats? You planning on a trip to the African plains?
No, but that's the zoo for you. You know, you go there and weird shit happens. I saw a lion pee on some kids once back when I was a kid, because they used to have them in those open air cages. So there was just some metal bars between you and the scary murderous animal. And these kids were making fun of the lion, and the lion just turned around and sprayed them.
Yeah, I mean, ex-Bubba Hotep's got a point, man. You only got to run faster than your friend. You don't have to be quick. Just bring fat people with you to the zoo, and you'll be fine.
Oh, that's true. I will coat them in barbecue sauce first. Hey, we're going to the zoo. Let me put some suntan lotion on your neck. Why do I smell delicious? I don't know. Shut up, fatty. We're going to the zoo.
So, you were talking, or well, we were talking before we went live about Cecil's bad comic GoFundMe Indiegogo, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You want to see an actual bad GoFundMe, Kickstarter, whatever?
You know I do.
Okay. Hold on. We're gonna do the cool share, where the people that are hanging out with me at the bar can actually see what I'm looking at, so they don't have to see. There you go. See that, Jack? Isn't that awesome?
I can't see anything yet. It's gonna be 10 seconds. You
know. No. Look at the Hangout screen, bro.
Oh. What? Why am I looking at two upside down people?
Okay, well, just look at the left side of your screen only, and that's what's going on. See?
I don't understand the photo I'm looking at.
That's fine.
I understand the split screen thing.
Okay. All right. I just so anyway, chat, here's what we're looking at. This is the Museum of Non-Visible Art. Started by, of course, James Franco and the husband and wife art team known collectively as Praxis. You can let out the rage. It's fine. I'm here.
No, I just don't get it.
So
these people have too much money and free time.
So what you see here, like this photo, is like, who are these people? These are Brainard and Delia Carey, the husband and wife team, known collectively as Praxis. And this picture of these two eyeballs here, this is Praxis. This is their avatar photograph. This is how they publicly want to be seen. They always use this picture. Okay, so what the fuck is a museum of non-visible art, you might ask? Hello? Oh, he's muted. Okay, I'll explain to you, chat, what's going on.
I was eating a Dorito. I figured you would just go ahead and explain it.
Well, you just, for God's sake. Okay.
Evolved Potato says we pronounce Mercats wrong.
That's fine. This is a conceptual art project by Praxis, curated by Valley Joe Guntner. Gantner, yeah.
Look at her gunt.
Artistic director of PS122 in Manhattan. Praxis is the collaborative art team of Brainard and Delia Carey. And in this project, James Franco has collaborated with them because that miserable bastard has nothing better to do with his time, but goddamn does he love being known as a pretentious artist. Praxis has been in the Whitney Museum biennial, whatever, and James Franco has exhibited his artwork internationally. Unfortunately, I don't know. Have you ever seen any of James Franco's art? It's terrible. No. It's terrible.
He exhibits that internationally. What's he do? Go around and be a hobo on the street peddling his art? Who cares? That's dumb. He's some bored rich guy.
Yes. And that's why he goes around collecting random academic degrees, diminishing the value of those of us like myself who actually work for academic degrees. You know, he's got like 2 master's degrees and shit.
In what?
His second master's degree is from like this fly-by-night bullshit rich kids school in New York where you create your own curriculum and matriculate at your own pace.
Oh yeah, that sounds made up.
You know what I mean? He did 1 course worth of credit that he did remotely through distance learning or whatever you want to call it. Goes by different names through different systems, right? But remotely completed his coursework. Okay. That was, and the remainder of his credits for his master's degree were satisfied entirely by the work he did on Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that's accredited.
Yeah. So like, and his degree's in like whatever, like a master's degree in like cinematic and theatrical application art analysis, whatever the fuck, you know?
Made up.
Yeah, made up fuckery. And it's like, well, I was actually on a real movie studio set. And it's like, but let me see if I get this right. You were double dipping on your time. You were spending time just like hanging out on the set, reading your script, doing your scenes, hanging out in your fucking rich man's trailer. And you were also double dipping this time, not just for the millions of dollars you're being paid, but for academic credits towards a degree. Fuck.
Well, it's not a real degree.
Well,
I mean, I get it. It's like on the job goofing off.
Yeah. So you have people asking like Green Badger Outdoors, so non-visible art, so music, and BG I think said, yeah, BG, something Blind Press would go to. Blind Press could absolutely go to this, unhumorously, because it's non-visible art. So Jack, been into a museum at some point in your life, I'm sure. Lots of people have. They'll have the little description cards beside a piece of art or beside a sculpture or a piece of pottery from the ancient world or something, right? And it'll say, this piece of pottery, olive oil vessel from the late Roman Republic, circa whatever year, right?
Yep.
Made of clay, that kind of thing. So you'll have like a little picture beside it that'll say, so here's the first one. By Praxis, sculpture. It's called Fur Balls. A sculpture the size of a human head, but round, covered with human hair taken from wigs. There are 18 of these which can be arranged according to the site and in any order you wish. They don't exist. There's nothing there. It's empty space. The concept of the non-visible art museum is you go in, you read the little card, and the art exists in your mind, man.
Yeah, man, it's the art of imagination.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking stupid. What, did a 10th grade hippie come up with this? This is fucking retarded.
How bad is that? How bad is that? So, okay, thank you for the tipped your bartender Manic for the $5. Got to stock up on some juice boxes since Far is back. Yeah, I know. You know that Far has a whole bunch of juice boxes she keeps behind the bar because she doesn't drink liquor, right?
How old is she?
There's nothing wrong with a grown woman enjoying juice boxes.
If you're doing age play, yeah.
No, that was uncalled for.
Well, she's not here. I can make fun of her. It's when she's here, I'm afraid.
And as well you should be. When she's on stream, she plays the nice Aussie girl, and she's fun and you know, amiable.
Behind the scenes, she hits She hits so hard.
She doesn't need to hit, man. She strikes emotionally deep and threats. Oh my god! If I ever get doxxed, that girl's, oh man, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you'll have to change your name and go into hiding.
Oh, she's threatened to come after me.
She doesn't threaten. She just does.
Oh, I'm just scrolling down here. I want to find what's his name's James Franco's um, piece of art. Its description is glorious. Kristen Davis, Davenport, Stephen Sampo. Look at all the people that submitted non-existent art pieces. Okay, here it is. Here it is.
They submitted little cards. That's what you're
Yes,
telling me.
they submitted. No, it's art. What don't you understand?
I understand it. I just think it's dumb.
Okay, so here it is. By James Franco. Costume. That's the name of the art piece. Okay, and the card reads as follows. Early 19th century garment from the set of this imagined film called Red Leaves. A native costume of a slave. The lavish costume was made with synthetic materials to reproduce clothing that looks as though it were made with gold leaf and animal skins. See, James Franco got double meta. See, he imagined a film called Red Leaves, and this non-visible piece of art is a costume that you can't see from this film that you also can't see.
I wish I had this kind of money. The kind of money where you can sit around and be as Howard Hughes weirdo as you want, and nobody's gonna say anything. You're just like some eccentric genius, when really you're just a degenerate weirdo. Must be nice.
Like, I
I
can't
do that
believe.
now, but with no money.
Do you want to hear the worst part?
I don't know. This is already pissing me off.
This is pretty bad, right? Praxis, their most famous piece is called Fresh Air from this museum.
Okay.
It's a picture frame that's obviously empty. There's nothing in it. And it's called Fresh Air. It's sold at auction in 2012. Do you care to take a guess how much it sold for?
Rich people are pretty dumb. 1.2 million.
No. 10 grand.
Oh, that's still way more. I could sold you a 50-cent picture frame I got at a garage sale
Oh,
for $1,000.
you should see it. It's one of those really bad, like old style, cheap wood carving, beveled edge wood frames. You know what I mean? And that's it. Like, but the frame's irrelevant. It's the empty space of nothing where you see the wall that the frame's hanging on. They didn't even bother to put an empty canvas on it, man. It's just hollow. It's
I have a similar one with an all white background. The white is actually the paper that came with it, and I call it Portrait of God.
nice.
I'll sell it to you for $5,000.
I got a quick story for you.
Oh no.
There's a lot of people out there that aren't that smart. And sometimes
Really?
yeah, it's true. And sometimes if you talk real fast, you can really put one over on somebody who's not that bright. I was present in high school to hear this conversation happen. One of my friends says this girl who's hanging out with us. They're talking about the first editions or whatever was the topic, and a guy says, you know, I've got an autographed copy of the Bible. And the girl goes, and the girl said, really?
Wow.
He just did the slow turn and look at me like it was supposed to be a dad joke, like a groaner, right? And it's like, she's like, really? And it's like, didn't it occur, like, who signed it? What do you...
Yes.
That's a true story. That's really?
Well, see, technically, you need two signatures for the Bible. You have to get God's and then the New Testament, which should be Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be God. It would be Moses for the first 5 books, anyway.
Well, God co-wrote it because he wrote the 10 Commandments and all those other commandments that nobody pays attention to.
The remaining 400, and what is it, 53, I think?
Something like that. Don't wear blended fabric. God hates that.
Yes. And, you know.
No shellfish.
God have mercy on your soul You plant two different types of grain in the same field, huh?
Right? You fucking degenerate heathens. I'm using the word degenerate a lot today. It's gonna happen. Hey, morning, Pat.
Oh, is your boy Pat here? Oh, nice. How's it going?
I just randomly say hello to him. And,
My chat's running slow, so he hasn't popped up yet. Because I'm running potato here. So what do you want from me? Fuck. Oh, there he is. Hey, Pat. Morning, everybody. I see it. You made me think of something, and now you made me forget it. Shit.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. Well, you brought up Pat, and he just strikes such a iconic image that it just blew whatever I was thinking right out of my mind.
If you guys haven't subscribed to Psycho Rick, his channel, definitely do it. It's fucking great. Oh, you're bringing up the pooper.
Oh, yeah. Hey, chat, you want to see this? Jack showed me this article the other day. This is Massachusetts serial pooper busted for defecating in parking lot 8 times. It's not so much the story, it's the look of what is that? Shame on her face? I don't know.
It's the sadness of getting caught. Like I probably should have thought this through to the logical conclusion.
The serial pooper.
Yeah, because for the rest of her life, she's going to be known as the pooper.
Yeah. And
because she's from Massachusetts, it's the mass pooper.
Nice. What was the story? A Massachusetts woman was busted for allegedly turning a store parking lot into her own personal potty, pooping there a staggering 8 times in roughly a month. Dubbed the parking lot pooper, Andrea Grosser, 51, of Ashland, was allegedly caught dropping trow near. Oh, yeah. Dropping trow. Was allegedly caught dropping trow near the Natick outdoor store on Wednesday morning, according to the MetroWestDailyNews.com. Well, they sound reputable. Police said that they had been investigating since the fecal matter began showing up last month. Quote, at first, workers thought it was an animal, but then they noticed toilet paper and other wipes, items animals would not have access to, police said to spokeswoman Lieutenant Kara Rossi, who said the first feces were found in early December. Okay, anyway. After staking out the site, a cop allegedly spotted Grosser letting her bowels loose out of the door of her 2018 Lincoln Mark MKX SUV before 7 a.m. I can't believe they actually paid a cop to just fucking sit there and watch for someone dropping trow. Fuck hell, man.
Got something to do.
I guess.
How would you like to be the cop filling out this report, though?
No. When confronted, she told the officer she had irritable bowel syndrome and was on her way to her job as a nanny. But she was allegedly seen waiting some 10 minutes for a nearby train and other traffic to clear out before doing the deed. And the cop pointed out that there were plenty of public restrooms nearby, the outlet reported. The officer also called her employer, who confirmed she could have just pooped at their house.
Yeah, I bet she was a shitty nanny, too.
Boo. Store owner Henry Canner said he couldn't understand why she did it, but was flush with excitement at her arrest. Boo.
Will you throw the link in chat so that these guys can
Sure.
check out this article too?
Sure.
I don't think they believe it's a real article.
Well, it's up on the screen.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
What, you think I cleverly created this in Photoshop?
No, but it might be like the Babylon Bee or something, even though it's New York Post.
Yeah, you can trust that the New York Post is absolutely trashy enough to cover something like this.
Oh, absolutely. That's why they're great.
Yeah, they are my favorite tabloid. Next to the New York Times and the Washington Post, of course. Okay, eventually it's going to fucking put up... Give me a second, chat. I'll put there. Okay. Oh, so I copied the link, and this is what happens when you have a potato running slower than molasses in winter. Shit like this. Come on. All right, it's fighting me. I'll try again in a second. It's not letting me do it.
Oh, Oh, it made the news up in Maine, Duck Dog said.
Nice.
That's it's a pretty intense story to be shared around the whole New England region.
I'm so happy they arrested her, Canner said. I have no idea who she is. This has been ongoing. She has defecated quite often over here. There's nothing more disgusting than coming into your parking lot in the morning and seeing a pile of human excrement. You, sir, should not go to San Francisco.
Yeah, no shit. The assassin said she should have moved to San Francisco.
At grocer's arraignment on Wednesday, her lawyer called her a pillar of the community who works full time. She was charged with wanton destruction of property and released without bail. She is due back March 2nd. Wow. Last year, a New Jersey superintendent was outed as the school's mystery pooper. I love the idea. I remember that story of a municipal employee just so disgruntled that they're just shitting on property, just out of catharsis, I guess.
Yeah, they had that problem at some EPA office for a while. You remember that a couple years ago? Some employee was shitting in the hallway. It's like, what?
And for those of you curious, that's an actual example of irony. EPA taking a shit at EPA headquarters, that's funny.
That's why it's funny.
Well, okay. It's just people call things ironies that are actually coincidences all the time. Because I don't think they actually know what an irony is. See, Jack, when I go silent like that because I'm vaping, that's when you start talking. Just saying.
I had nothing to add.
Well, okay.
Just because you fell silent doesn't mean I know what to do.
Well, this is
panic. It's panic.
You know what kills me is look on the side of the. Bring it back up on screen here. Look at this chat. You have the little side stories here. Senators stunned. More people don't want to attend Trump impeachment trial. The senators are the only ones stunned. Nobody cares, guys. Nobody. Well, I mean, a small amount of people care, but a hell of a lot less than they think do. I mean, did you hear Buttigieg saying how sick he is of the overwhelming coverage of the impeachment proceedings on news?
No, I don't pay attention to him. He's stupid.
We're talking about a Democratic candidate for the fucking nomination of their party. And he's like, I am so sick of hearing about this. It's like, yeah, news media, y'all suck. Why do you think that we don't do politics over here at Noir Bar? We just talk about serial poopers and shit. Because everyone needs a break from it. This is a bar where we hang out and do. This is a chill stream, which means disorganized and all over the place. And yeah, I've been drinking, but that's that's what we do here. It's a bar, right? Right. Okay. Well, Richo says Democrat senators. Yeah, they're clearly the only ones. And then look at this. Taylor Swift cancels planned Grammys performance over sexism allegations. I'm not clicking on that. I'm not. I don't care what she thinks or says or does or whatever. The new woke Taylor Swift I keep hearing about from people who, sadly for them, spend a lot of time on social media. It's like, did you know that Taylor Swift has gone all political? No, I didn't know that, but I'm not remotely surprised. What the fuck does anyone care what that fucking 90-pound twit has to say or think?
No, buddy.
Well, I mean, or whatever the fuck, millions and millions of fans care, but I don't know why. And what do you think of this one, Jack, at the top? This is the most trending one on the NewYorkPost.com right now. Don't buy the media hype over the new China virus. Is this the Ministry of Truth trying to calm us down before we die?
Probably, because they did quarantine 35 million people. That does make me a little nervous. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it's already in Texas, man. It's already on the West Coast. Chicago, and on the West Coast of Canada in multiple cases. So, I mean, it's on the continent, stretched out. I didn't know it was in Chicago. It's there. It's in the Midwest. It's all the way down to the south, and it's all the way up, like, West Coast north. So there it is. Well,
I blame China. It's probably coated in lead anyway.
I the way you say I blame China like it's a conspiracy theory. No, you should blame China. What? It's a, that's where it was incubated and that's where it's spreading from. Yeah, it's you're not wrong for blaming China, man.
Did you see the symbol of their health organization?
China's?
It's
No,
well, the one in that city of Wuhan.
no,
It's an umbrella, just like the Umbrella Corporation, except it's blue and white instead of red and white.
no shit.
I retweeted a photo of it. I'll send it to you.
You're gonna reset it to me on Twitter?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go over there then.
Tweeted a lot this past few days.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking of doing on Twitter? I'm like the worst Twitter guy. People will tweet things at me and then I won't notice. Like if it doesn't show up in my notifications, I don't go looking because Twitter, it gets me upset and so angry so fast that I don't poke around on Twitter. Something that actually demonstrably lowered my blood pressure is when I used AdBlock Plus to block the element that shows United States trends. So now I don't know what's trending. I don't even look at it. I can't see it. I blocked it. That was great. That made Twitter a lot easier to use for me. Because it was all paid for artificial trends, as well as 2 or 3 things about Trump at any given moment.
Oh, I almost never look at trending. I can't focus on the 5 things I care about on there, let alone anything else. So.
And see, that's what I mean, though, is that I'm thinking of, I follow a whole bunch of people, and I'm thinking of paring down that list, like muting a bunch of the news services that I don't even really follow anymore because they're pure trash. And you know what I mean? I poke around on different websites, and I have my actual subscriptions. Like I have a subscription to the Washington Post and the New York Times because I get the student discount and, well, political science. I kind of have to keep up. As tragically boring and frustrating as it can be at times. See how fast this is loading, Jack? You're getting a real, like, look. See this? This is how slow my computer goes when I'm streaming. Look at this. See that?
Wow.
Yeah, wow. And people wonder why I'm not like, I'd love to talk to you more, chat. I'd love to type things in chat, but all I was trying to do was cut and paste something there, and that even wasn't working. I'd be typing all kinds of shit if it wasn't for my potato. Tip your bartender. All right, enough of that. It's just not happening.
Hold on, I'll just grab the link and put it in the side chat.
Jesus. Look at this, chat. Would you have recognized that as Tom Sizemore if it didn't say it was Tom Sizemore? Holy shit.
He looks like B. Arthur trying to do an impersonation. Tom Sizemore.
Like, he looks disgustingly, like his pallor, man. Like, he looks like a zombie.
All the drugs does shit to you.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, chat, if you guys know, but, like, Tom Sizemore has been an alcoholic and a very vicious drug abuser for years. In and out of every fucking rehab you can name. And because he's a celebrity, he doesn't ever really face legal consequences. Not real ones, anyway. So, history appears to be repeating itself. Tom Sizemore was arrested on Thursday for drug possession almost a year to date of his 2019 arrest for the same charge. Wait a minute. How's he out and about then? You know? The troubled actor was pulled over for a traffic violation Thursday at around 2:30 a.m. in Glendale, California, because of course. And police saw what appeared that he appeared to be under the influence. Cops then reportedly searched Sizemore, 58. Jesus Christ, man.
He looks terrible for 58.
Absolutely. And found narcotics. He was charged with driving under the influence and possession of a controlled substance, according to TMZ. Early in 2019, Burbank police arrested the Twin Peaks star after they found various illegal narcotics in his vehicle. You don't even want to give us a list, huh? Sizemore had been struggling with substance abuse for years He was featured on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew in 2010. Oh man, he was a hardcore drug abuser long before that. Brian Wilson asks, who is Tom Sizemore? Well, he was a main character in Heat. He played Michael Cherino. He was also one of the soldiers in Saving Private Ryan. And Jack, he's been in like a lot of stuff. What else is Tom Sizemore?
Black Hawk Down.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
Never been in a couple of crime movies.
Never really a leading man, but a solid supporting actor in a whole fuck ton of things. And I'm not a bad actor. I always thought he was authentic in most things that he played.
Yeah, he's a decent actor. He's just a very troubled person. He's got a bunch of stuff coming up too. Let's see.
Oh, wait a minute. You know the role he was great in? One of my favorite guilty pleasure movies, the Natural Born Killers. He played Detective Scagnetti.
Oh, that's right.
The scumbag detective, the self-promoting prick who had the book called Scagnetti on Scagnetti.
Yeah. He's done a lot of like low budget stuff too. Pretty much takes whatever's put in front of him. Yeah, he was on the new Twin Peaks series, The Assault, The Immortal Wars, Atomica, bunch of stuff I've never heard of. Beyond Valkyrie, a lot of straight to video stuff. Halloween.
Hold on, Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, he was in Reservoir Dogs.
Who did he play in Reservoir Dogs?
Crazy Ones.
What?
I haven't seen that movie in like 15 years.
No, Tom Sizemore's not in Reservoir Dogs.
Hold on, I'll find out. Let me scroll down that far. This guy's got a ton of.
There's Chris Penn, Harvey Keitel, Steve Buscemi. That guy that nobody knows who dies right away anyway, so it doesn't matter. Quentin Tarantino himself.
What year did that come out?
93, I'm going to guess.
Oh, he was in Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Born on the 4th of July, Point Break, uncredited.
Wait a minute, the new one or the old one?
1991.
He was in the original Point Break. Who was he in that?
DEA agent Dietz.
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely. When they bust in the house, he's the undercover agent that gets all mad as hell that you screwed up my bust. I had been undercover forever. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Harry Channel, thank you very much for the tip to the bartender. I missed Noir Bar while you were on vacation. Well, I wasn't. Well, I kind of was over the Christmas holidays, but I appreciate that. Someday you may want to rate the Bond girls if you run short of ideas, especially the underrated ones like Daniela Bianchi. You've raised my interest. Daniela Bianchi. Which Bond girl was that?
I think they were mixing up Tom Sizemore and Michael Madsen. I do that a lot. Michael Madsen was in Reservoir Dogs, not Tom Sizemore. They kind of had the same acting style. I think that's who.
That is a bad insult to Tom Sizemore.
Or Michael Madsen, depending on how you look at it.
Well, I don't know. I think we need to be honest. Michael Madsen is. I remember the interview with. Oh shit! The guy played Mr. Orange.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. Thank you. Tim Roth's a fantastic fucking actor. I love his roles.
Oh, I loved him in Hulk.
So I remember watching an interview with him, and he said, "So what was it like to work with Michael Madsen?" And he said, "You mean the guy that should be arrested for loitering in front of a camera?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, oh shit." Yeah, that about covers it. That's kind of sums up my opinion of his acting ability.
Tom Sizemore was also in True Romance, Passenger 57, Strange Days, which was a pretty interesting movie. You mentioned Heat, The Relic, which is a fun movie, Saving Private Ryan, Enemy of the State, Bringing Out the Dead, Get Carter. That was a good remake.
Oh, right. Bringing Out the Dead, the forgotten Martin Scorsese film, which is actually totally worth watching. Don't listen to people badmouth it. That's right. He was one of the EMTs.
Red Planet, which sucked. Pearl Harbor also sucked. Black Hawk Down, a TV movie called Sins of the Father. He was on the Justice League TV series, the animated series. He did the voice of Metamorpho.
Really? Huh. See, this is what I mean. This guy, like, never a leading man, but he's been working. You know what I mean? Like, he's solidly employed, this guy.
Paparazzi, which is a very underrated movie in my opinion. He played the scumbag paparazzi in that one. That was great.
Harry Channel says that's the Bond girl from Russia with Love. You know what, Harry Channel? That is a fantastic suggestion. I think I might do a countdown as a separate video. That's a great idea. I know Weibo Jones would adore the opportunity to judge me for my tastes again. She really got a kick out of judging me for my tastes of the top 10 hottest women from the MCU. She goes, so if you want to do this again, I didn't even think of the Bond girls. Yeah, we should do that. And I can relentlessly make fun of Christmas Jones there. What's her name? What's the actress's name?
I don't know.
The Ditz from Starship Troopers. Married Charlie Sheen.
Oh, I can see her face, can't think of her name, but I wanted to bang her for years.
Lots of people did, yeah.
Now I don't want to because, Charlie Sheen's got the HIV.
I love how you say that like not everybody already knows that.
It's a secret. She was in Wild Things.
Oh, yeah, she was, yeah.
That's bugging me. Denise Richards.
Right.
Yeah, her and Nev Campbell were really hot in that movie.
Well, okay.
And it had Kevin Bacon.
Did it actually?
Yeah, he was one of the main characters.
I was made to watch that film, and it was like this. I mean, talking about something as the product of the Hollywood hype machine. I mean, who cares? Two bitches kiss in a pool. Yay.
Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping they were going to scissor. It never happened, though.
Well, yeah. That's what I mean. It's like, well, it's
Batwoman.
Assassin the Grey comes in with Denise Richards. Yeah, that's, see, I wish my chat wasn't running so far behind. And Mustafa there, too. Everybody probably already said that, 5 minutes ago. Oh, Havoc says that I own every 007 movie put to disc. I've got a complete copy of all the 007s. I even have, except for the newest one. Did that come out yet? Did it fail in the theater? I don't even know.
I don't know.
See what I mean? Like, I actually don't even know. Did that one come out yet? What's it called?
Girl 007. I don't know.
It's going to have some, really...
00 diversity hire.
Yeah, right? No, it's got to have some, Bond-esque name, confusing title that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Moon over Destiny,
I like my name for it better. Hold on, I'll find out.
World Is Not Enough was a great movie. Johnny Blaze. I'm not somebody who's quick to judge someone's taste in film, but come on, man.
No Time to Die.
Yeah, that's a very Bond-esque title. You know what? I guess I can't really judge someone for liking, the last couple of... I like Pierce Brosnan as Bond, but the Pierce Brosnan last two Bond films were, completely lackluster.
Oh, man, they wasted him. World Is Not Enough was okay, but he's such a perfect casting for Bond, and they just gave him the shittiest scripts.
Oh, wait a minute. Johnny Blaze, I'm not thinking of A World Is Not Enough. I'm thinking Die Another Day. That's the one I'm thinking of.
So drunk, I cannot get up.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Again, Harry Channel, thank you for the tip. Denise Richards was terrible in Starship Troopers. Damn right. Dina Meyer was way better. Oh, yeah. As bad as she was, still better than Tanya Roberts in A View to a Kill. Yeah, but... Okay, you know why I'm giving a pass to the blonde Tanya Roberts in A View to a Kill? Because she was quintessential blonde 80s babe, and it was that time that movie came out that she just kind of fit into that. She looked like she was one of the Charlie's Angels, from that time period.
Yeah.
Who were the original Charlie's Angels ladies? I don't know any of them. Old fogey women. Cheryl Tiegs, wasn't she one of them?
I know the chick from Scarecrow and Mrs. King was one of them.
Okay.
I know other stuff they've been in. I don't remember their fucking names.
Wasn't the chick that was in The Fall Guy with Lee Majors one of them?
Yeah.
I know The Fall Guy. I've seen syndicated television.
That's not when it was first on. I feel fucking old.
You know what made me look up The Fall Guy originally? Like, what the hell is this? Because I didn't know who the hell this Lee Majors guy was at the beginning of Scrooged.
Life makes me sad. It's Kate Jackson, Cheryl Ladd, and Jacqueline Smith for the first three. Those were the original ones. There were a couple replacements along the way, too.
I've never heard of any of those people.
You'd know them if you saw them.
Yeah? Okay. They got that real distinctive look.
Yeah, they were popular actresses for the time. And models, too. Cheryl Ladd was a big-time model.
Oh, wow. Hey, no one's getting kicked out for their movies on it. Beth said that she doesn't like James Bond. And then she's getting dogpiled on. Not in my bar, damn it. Otherwise, I'd be the first one kicked if we were kicking people for bad taste. So
yeah, and then it would be a very short program. Farrah Fawcett was on there for a while. She was on 29 episodes. And,
now there's an easy name to remember. I know that name and I know her.
And Tanya Roberts was also on there.
You know what's an easy name to remember? Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, but she's weird looking. Tanya Roberts was kind of hot.
Yeah. I only know one movie that Sissy Spacek was in, JFK.
Oh, I know
she played his wife.
Movies.
She played
Jackie Onassis.
No, Kevin Costner. I can't remember his character's name.
I don't remember.
She played his wife.
Well, for those of you that want a refresher course on the saucy Tanya Roberts, she was in that 70s show. She played the neighbor's mom, the neighbor girl.
The hot redhead.
Yeah. She played her mom. She was also in A View to a Kill.
Yeah, that's why we brought her up to begin with.
No, I just mentioned her because she was on Charlie's Angels.
No.
Yeah.
No, Harry Channel gave me a tip and said was still better than Tanya Roberts in A View to a Kill.
Yeah, but we were talking about Charlie's Angels. That's how I got to Tanya Roberts. It wasn't my donation. I didn't pay attention to anything you said.
But I said we already mentioned that. You said no, and I said yes, and then you admitted that you weren't paying attention.
You said we, and there was no we. It was just you and somebody from chat. I don't pay attention to other people's conversations. It's called eavesdropping, Polly.
You see all the stools in front of the bar? You're sitting on one of them, and I'm behind the bar. You were close enough to hear. Don't backpedal off of it, man. The Beastmaster.
She was in Beastmaster, which is an awesome movie.
I've seen that. Was she in Beastmaster?
Yeah.
Oh.
She played Kiri, and she was in Sheena, which was based on a comic book. So it all comes back to comic books.
Always does.
Yep.
Where else are they going to rip their fucking...
Right? And she was also in a movie called The Yum Yum Girls.
All right.
The 70s were a weird time.
Okay. Look, you want a fast opinion on an article, chat? This is a Guardian article. Okay. Is politics getting in the way of assessing which films are actually good? Yes. Moving on. I mean, what? Are we actually going to debate that seriously?
No.
Yes, the answer is fucking yes. You want some fucking proof? Here's a Slate article. Joker's Oscar nominations are a joke. Stop the madness. This movie is dumb as hell. Oh, fuck you. I'm not trying to say it's the greatest movie ever. What I'm trying to say is this is Slate, And when I scroll down, I'm sure I'm going to find the phrase incel repeatedly in your opinion.
Quite likely.
You know what I'm talking about here? And so we go back to the Guardian. Is politics getting in the way? Yes. And water's also wet.
It's amazing how angry these people are. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. But I mean, I really do believe they're getting paid by lame, imagineless editors to come up with this crap. That's my best guess.
Yeah. Well, they don't have any original opinions. It's just like 4 pages of nonsensical rambling.
Oh man, and it's like Slate, and we've over on Comic Book Curation, we talked about some of these. What's the other one? Not Slate. Starts with an S. Salon, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you said 4 pages. How about those Salon articles that run like 10? Like the most extended, pretentious English student's essay ever, and that's salon.com.
Yeah, they're just doing it to get clicks.
Yeah, well,
it's all about ad space.
It just, you want to laugh, go to salon.com and type in all of your predictable trigger phrases, right? Type in white privilege, like dozens of fucking articles. Type in Trump, dozens of fucking articles. It's what they do. It's that predictable and that fucking lame. No imagination having editors. They can't think of anything else.
I clicked on something, I don't know, earlier today, I think. My days all blur together. And it was like an article about 10 comic book things about the U.S. agent, because he's going to be in the Falcon Winter Soldier thing. And each one was on a different page. So they were just getting you to click through 9 to 10 pages to read this one article, and each one's like half a page long. It would all fit on the screen. That's fucking irritating, because it's just a trick to get you to click on more pages on their site so they could say, look at our vast number of clicks.
You know, okay. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but it's just like, it's okay that Todd Phillips wanted to make a Batman movie that looked like Taxi Driver, ! That's a fun thing to do in the context of a comic book story. Apparently you got a problem with it. The result is exactly as entertaining and dumb as you might expect. Well, not really. From his dumb yellow title card, to its anti-hero dumbass delusions of grandeur, to its dumb absolute belief in its own transgressiveness, Joker is just as stupid as it can be. Right? It's a movie designed to seem impressive to anyone without much of an understanding of film history, who's maybe seen some clips of Taxi Driver online. Okay, repeated references to Taxi Driver here, right? Taxi Driver is the actual achievement, whereas this movie is just a bad ripoff of it. Okay, let's talk about Taxi Driver for a hot second. You've seen it, right, Jack?
Oh, yeah, a couple times.
Right.
Taxi Driver's a slow burn. This movie had better pacing.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. Taxi Driver is definitely a slow burn. It is. But, the one element from Taxi Driver that none of these woke fuckers ever talk about, and they don't want to talk about?
They've never seen it.
Well, yeah, they talk about it, but probably haven't seen it. And I love this, the smart ass. I'm going to call something dumb over and over and over again, because it must be, without much of an understanding of film history. Could you pretentious bastard, fuck off.
To be fair, this idiot probably has $100,000 film school degree that he isn't using because he's writing these shitty little articles for exposure. And he's like, oh, I am so much better than them, these plebs. I could have made this movie.
The thing that nobody ever talks about with Taxi Driver is how incredibly racist it is, intentionally. The character of Travis Bickle is a extremely racist man. It's a theme that runs throughout it. It's whom he visits his anger upon. The pimp played by Harvey Keitel in it was originally cast as, in the script, is black, and they thought, holy fuck, with everything else we're doing in this film, we can't make the pimp black too. That is just too on the nose. We're going to have to cast a white character. And they ended up casting Harvey Keitel in that role of Sport. I mean, but none of you woke bastards seem to have a problem with that. As a matter of fact, I've never heard a single one of you even ever mention it. Instead, it's a psychological analysis of a disgruntled young man and how in our society, blah, blah, blah. Or a man who's sick of violence and then he visits his anger upon the people he sees as being largely responsible for the violence. In the beginning stages of his delusion, the black folks around him. In the higher stages of his delusion, the politicians who don't do anything about it.
Or maybe he's just a pedo.
Well, you leave Jodie Foster out of this.
She was like 15.
I think she was.
Yeah, see, Duck Dog said it too.
I think she was actually 14.
Whatever.
In it. What? You're not one of those people that thinks Reagan wouldn't have been shot otherwise, are you?
What, if it wasn't for Jodie Foster?
Well, or Taxi Driver in general.
Oh, no. That dude was nuts. He would have shot him for some other reason.
Well, yeah. And most people don't put the blame where it deserves. Catch her in the Rye.
Oh, yeah. That too.
That book needs to be banned, god damn it.
Because it's stupid and boring.
It's so stupid and boring.
Oh, so bored reading it. I had this buddy who had just read it, and he's several years younger than me, and he's like, "Oh man, this book really spoke to me. It was great. It really like tapped into my way of thinking." I'm like, maybe I misread that. So I went back and I read it, and I'm like, nope, still stupid and boring. I was like, you're wrong. You have shit taste in books. This book's stupid. It's, junior edgy for normies.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what? I don't. It's like I don't even have that big of a problem with the book. Like it is what it is. It's that people pump it up to be something more than it is.
Yeah, it's not a literary classic. It's just a stupid book. It's a stupid book written by a boring person that tries to be like getting in some teenager headspace or something. Oh, so fucking dumb.
Oh, you know what? Pat's dead on. Have you seen that? How they're dissing the fuck out of Joker, but they're praising the shit out of Birds of Prey. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a great. I hadn't thought of that, but that's a good point. I had seen that they're doing that, but I never made the connection. You motherfuckers are just like, you have no principles. You switch up on like a dime. Like you want to talk about a movie that's just stupid, just dumb, all the phrases. Like Birds of Prey. That's just stupid and dumb.
No, it's woke, Polly. It's woke. Get woke.
I can't abide by it. No, can't do it.
Because it looks ridiculous. Why didn't they just call it like the bad Harley Quinn movie?
Yeah, well, because they didn't want to just describe it operationally.
Yes. But, you know, Ewan McGregor came out and said that he's playing Black Mask like any toxic male because it's really about toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Shut up, actor. Get out there and dance.
Well, you know my thoughts on Pinko Picard. It's
yeah.
Can you fuck off already? You know, get over an election that you lost. Can you imagine how Comrade Stewart feels about fucking the election that he didn't know had turned against him in Britain?
Yeah, is he even an American citizen? Because why is he talking about our politics? Go back home.
Yes, he is an American citizen.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I guess you can complain a little bit. I'll allow it this time.
For the chat, if you don't know what we're talking about, Patrick Stewart is doing a new show called Star Trek Picard, and he did this interview with Variety that we talked about over on Comic Book Curation, where he's one of the executive producers and writers of the show, and he said this show is intended as my reaction to Trump and Brexit. And goes on and on and on about all of his pinko commie beliefs and how he's a socialist, and it's just pure hot trash. And it's like, man, can you leave your petty pinko politics out of my fucking Star Trek, please?
You know they can't do that, Polly.
Good God.
I'm reporting you for wrongthink.
People are always running around calling fucking Star Trek communism in space. And it's like, okay, first of all, you're dead wrong. And I can explain why. But it doesn't help when you've got Sir commie Patrick Stewart running around talking about, oh, her injecting socialism in it now.
You have no idea how hard it was when you said "sir" and you paused briefly for me not to shout out Mix-a-Lot.
What was really?
You have no idea.
I didn't know you were a fan of Seattle hip hop. All right.
Doesn't matter. I was just tempted to say it because
Hmm.
I knew you were going to say Sir Patrick Stewart, but you paused briefly to insert communist, and I was like, I could say Mix-a-Lot right here, but I waited. I was a good guess.
So here's, I mean, Jack can see the article I've got up on my screen here, but I want to. This is from Bounding into Comics, but it's this particular article and what it's talking about that why I want to go over it. So you got Will Smith. I'm not a particular fan of this self-important, self-promoting egotist, but
he's a fellow YouTuber, Polly. You play nice.
that's hot. That's hot. Bad Boys for Life star Will Smith admits he has to pretend to like a movie he's in just to promote it. No.
What? Hold on. I'm shocking my imagine right now.
Exactly. Remember when we were talking about Ewan McGregor in that interview when he said, "Thank God they finally said publicly that they're not doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. I've had to lie about that for the past 2 years."
Yeah, they're making a Disney Plus miniseries.
Yeah. For 2 years, y'all, if you had ever come across Ewan McGregor saying, "Oh yeah, this movie's on the go, it's on the go," whatever, he knew it wasn't. But he was contractually bound to lie and say it was going to happen when he knew it wasn't. And finally, the studio came out and said, "No, we're not doing it." I'm released. Now I can stop lying to every journalist and every fan I talk to. Nice. I feel, and I forget McGregor's lines, but like he cussed. He said, "Thank fucking God I don't have to fuck. It's like, yeah, I'd be pissed too. So is it a surprise that this self-promoting, aggrandizing cocksucker Will Smith lies constantly and talks about how great films are? You ever see him?
Are you telling me that somebody that pretends for a living is a liar?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. It's news, but...
And somebody who believes he's actually contributing something to society by playing the same character in every film over and over and over.
It's all about the shoes.
And honestly, Jada Pinkett Smith is the one who really needs to get over shit. She's the one that, "My husband wasn't nominated for this important film he did. Racism must be at fault."
It's not my fault she's shrinking into a scarecrow.
Well, right. And it's like, come on, Jada. We're talking about the Oscars and the some 1,100 people that make up the voting committee of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. It's not like it's a public poll. It's some 1,100 people that make up the voting fucking committee, and nobody knows who they are. That's semi-secret, etc. It's all run by campaign. Did you campaign hard enough? Did you have to pay a promotional company to campaign to the members of the Academy to vote just to get on the nominee list, and then campaign again just to get voted for who's going to win? When somebody wins an Academy Award, it means there was dozens of millions of dollars spent promoting it to those 1,000 people. Full stop.
When was the last time he was in a movie that was, one of the boring Oscar-worthy movies? Like The Pursuit of Happiness, I think it was his last one, probably. Where he was like the down and out lawyer guy.
Down and out lawyer guy.
Yeah, he was like, it was based on a true story. Some guy had a kid, and they were like homeless while he was trying to finish law school.
Oh, what, the Legend of Beggar Vance?
No, that was the golfing movie.
Hitch?
No, it's called like Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh.
Something like that. Chat, tell me I'm not nuts here.
I remember one of my friends freaking the fuck out when Will Smith did the one that Jada got all bent out of shape that he didn't get nominated for, the Concussion or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Concussion movie.
Right, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Will Smith is concussed in terms of his view of his own importance and relevance. Listen, hey,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I loved him as the pilot guy in Independence Day because and that's your wheelhouse, Will. That's where you
yeah,
live. That's your home. Stay
he
there.
does popular movies. He doesn't do movies that are like boring and for the Oscar crowd.
Yeah, like he's a great, exuberant, comedic, irreverent guy. Like he plays that guy very, very well. Him as Deadshot in Suicide
Suicide.
Squad, that was a ridiculous fucking farce, man.
Oh, he was terrible casting for that part.
I I'm sorry, all I saw was like the Fresh Prince of Deadshot. It was
Yeah, the movie was called The Pursuit of Happiness. It was 2006.
okay. One of my friends, he's talking about Will Smith, and he says, "Will Smith, stop it! You're never going to be Jimmy Stewart. No one's ever going to
Oh,
like you as much as they like Jimmy Stewart. You're not a national treasure. Stop it." And I was like, "Okay, I guess." And I was like, "What do you mean by Jimmy Stewart?" He's like, "Well, that's what's the other guy who went from like comedy to I think I'm a great important actor? The guy, the fucking socialist weirdo."
oh, that narrowed it down.
Good call. He was in a movie that was the whole film was based that a corporation bought him as a baby and then made an entire reality TV show around his life.
Oh, you're thinking of Ace Ventura guy?
Yeah, exactly. That guy. What's his name?
I don't remember now. It's fucking 6 in the morning.
Well, he's a anyway,
this.
crazy deluded communist, because that's a really good description of him.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. That's his name.
Jim Carrey. Okay, so Comrade Carrey went from thinking that, okay, listen, I'm doing all these crazy comedies, these slapstick pratfall comedy films, to I'm going to be an important actor and get big rises of emotion out of people with my incredible acting ability. Yeah, and it's like, you too. You're not Jimmy Stewart. You're not going to be able to do it. You're never going to be in like Rear Window, like a great Jimmy Stewart film. Like, this comedic actor is suddenly in this horrifying Hitchcock film. You just don't have the range, man. But
Yeah.
I remember Will Smith. All jokes aside, the Jimmy Stewart thing makes sense because he's like, I want to do Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and it's like, oh, Will Smith, get fucked, get fucked. Crazy Scientologists. So anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and read this article. Not everyone.
Hold on. Evolved Potato just rubbed it in that he had a Lamington and it was delicious.
What's a Lamington?
It's a snack cake, like a Little Debbie kind of thing, except
Oh,
good.
okay. And you're angry this was rubbed in?
Oh, he's just rubbing it in our face that he has better treats than we do. I'm a little jealous.
Well,
I've never had a Lamington and I want to try one.
Zelthor's been posting pictures in Discord of the blueberry and peach cobbler that he has. I want blueberry and peach cobbler, but I don't have the baking ingredients. So anyway, Bad Boys for Life. Will Smith admits that he's a fucking liar and a degenerate communist weirdo who thinks he's super important. Not everyone is going to like a movie. Not even those who have to make one. And sometimes an actor knows a dud when he sees one. Like Wild Wild West, for example. Take Will Smith, for instance. A bankable star. He knows the nature of the beast and has to encourage people to see his latest vehicle that's naturally an expensive blockbuster. Hollywood is the money-making business, after all. Well, it's a crazy weirdo pedo farm full of communists, and they do enjoy making money. Smith stopped by the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, another scumbag, recently to promote the big budget action sequel to Bad Boys, which is called Bad Boys for Life. Discussing what motivated him to come back to the Michael Bay Spawn franchise after 2 full decades, Smith kept it real and conceded a fairly obvious truth. He doesn't like everything he performs in and singled out his last Men in Black sequel. Quote, "It's fantastic. Y'all gonna love it," because I say that a lot. I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes I say y'all gonna love it and y'all not gonna love it. Sometimes I've seen it and I know y'all not gonna love it. But it's an expensive movie. But this time, this movie is out here. It is so good. But if y'all like the first two, but if you like the first two at all, Jesus. All right.
That sentence ain't getting any better.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I need to stop trying to massage it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, y'all, you're not a Southerner, man. Stop it. Stop culturally signaling to the people. Like it's lame and transparent, and so are you. Good or bad, objectively, the last couple of releases starring Smith, other than Aladdin, which boasts the best numbers of his career, either underperformed or fell below the radar. Gemini Man was a flop and earned a mixed reaction, trending towards negative. Not here with us, but that's another story. All right.
No, it was dumb.
Smith is well off, but that doesn't mean his money isn't on his mind. Returning to a recognizable series with somewhat of a following from a prolific and well-known producer in Jerry Bruckheimer. Sounds like a decision motivated by monetary concerns on paper. However, Smith is firm he didn't make the latest Bad Boys installment for money. And he added the reason he waited so long for the follow-up was specifically to avoid a cash grab and revisit the characters in a place where they're hopefully grown.
Whatever.
Smith put it this way on Fallon. You had to take into consideration the time. You had to take into consideration how the characters would have grown. And the reason it took so long is because I didn't want to make it just as a cash grab. You know, hey, everybody loves sequels. Let's just do a sequel. Bad Boys for Life is in theater now. Smith also provides a voice for Secret Agent Lance Sterling in Spies in Disguise, which is still playing too. What is that? Spies in Disguise, an animated movie?
Yeah, I think that's a kid's movie.
No. Oh, fuck you, Will Smith. For no particular reason other than you're a Scientology socialist weirdo.
To be fair, this movie is probably not as bad as Men in Black 3.
Was he... Okay, is Men in Black 3 with...
Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, okay. No, that's not what I was going to ask.
You're thinking of International.
Yeah, the one with the little hottie who played Valkyrie.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in that one. Men in Black 3 started filming before they finished the script.
Huh.
Yeah, he's like, I want to make another movie. And they're like, okay, we don't have a script. And he's like, yeah, just do it as we go. And it made no sense. And After Earth, did you ever see that?
I did, actually. I watched it ironically with some friends, and Jesus Christ, it's just as bad as you think it is.
That's awful.
Ooh, Polly's Potato put up my favorite pop-up of all. Jessica Alba in a bra and panties with a cigarette on a bed, smiling away. It's great. Thank you very much, Polly's Potato. I love when my own computer tips me. Please help out so I can have my eternal rest. Oh no, it's dying. I didn't know that.
It wants to die. It's very sad. It's got dirt on Hillary.
Did you see Tulsi Gabbard's shit post? That
Which
I'm
one?
not, nor have I ever been suicidal.
Yeah. That was funny.
Oh man. Anyway, a little off topic. So, speaking of Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay.
I mean, you weren't, but Men in Black, right?
Yeah.
You know what film in recent memory he was the best in? Captain America: The First Avenger as the craggy old general.
Yeah.
He was great in that. He filled that role perfectly. It wasn't a huge role, but he fucking rocked it. Another reason that's my favorite Marvel film.
Yeah, that's one of mine too. He's a solid actor all around.
Yeah, oh yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. He reminds me a lot, not in terms of acting style, but in terms of sort of like professionalism of Gene Hackman. Like, they never have a bad moment on screen. It's just some scripts are worse than others for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're never the fuck up. They're always doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're professionals.
Yeah, it's bring their A game.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, you never see an inauthentic moment from Gene Hackman. Go ahead. Try and find it.
Even Loose Cannons, he was good in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got on this kick where it was like, I wanted to find... Because I love Gene Hackman in Westerns. I don't know why. Like, he was fantastic in Unforgiven. He was fantastic in Wyatt Earp. And I started thinking, this guy's been in so many fucking movies. He's got such a long career. I'm going to look into it. And he was in The Hunting Party, a 70s Western that nobody remembers.
Yeah, Quick and the Dead.
Quick and the Dead. Oh, dude, as the villain in Quick and the Dead, he was such an exaggerated, melodramatic character.
Oh,
and
he was having fun.
And he made him believable. It was great. So I went back and watched even the 70s Westerns with Gene Hackman in them, like The Hunting Party, where Murphy Brown gets kidnapped, whatever her name is.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Candace Bergen sucks.
Candace Bergen. But she was wildly young at that time. It's a little weird to hear old woman Brown's voice coming out of this young blonde actress, you know?
Yeah, because she was still smoking 5 packs a day to get that voice back then.
Yeah. And
these cigarettes are healthy, rah.
But I mean, she's someone who ended up looking like you think Captain Janeway does look, but you're wrong.
No, she looks like that.
I mean, there's your there's your Katharine Hepburn, Murphy Brown.
No, don't insult Katharine Hepburn like that. Murphy Brown's way uglier, and she doesn't have the mental problems.
See, you know what we need to do? We need to do a machinima of Voyager. Are you contemplating that, or are you shocked by its brilliance?
I think it's a funny idea, and I'd be down for it.
Not a full episode, a 15-minute short.
Yes, we don't get sued.
Right. No, yeah, you got a point. They are limited to 15 minutes by CBS.
Gene Shackman shot Murphy Brown in The Baby Maker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, good for you, Assassin of the Grey, actually, even knowing what the hell that movie is. I mean, that's a pretty obscure Western, but, you know. And Mustafa says Quick and the Dead was awesome. It really, really was. I mean, it's corny, it's stupid, but fuck, I love Quick and the Dead.
It's an homage to all those like Sergio Leone Italian spaghetti westerns.
Absolutely. Oh, dude. And every Western trope in the book, all the way back to like Tom Mix Westerns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are pulled out. What's his name? The Spider-Man director.
Sam Raimi.
Like what a student of film that guy is, because it's all Sam Raimi doing it. All of the shots, even the classic camera focusing through the legs of one shootist who's having the shootout in the middle of the street with the other one from High Noon. Like it just, there are 5 or 6 tropes taken from High Noon appear there. The busting through the flapping saloon doors. I mean, that's like the history of Hollywood Westerns in one film. I love it. It just,
you could tell that Sam Raimi loves movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just loves movies. It's not like he's trying to be artsy or pretentious. He's just like, I like movies.
Yeah.
And he'll watch whatever. Speaking of which, you like Emilia Clarke.
I do.
Yes, she's a very attractive lady. If you guys don't know her, she played Daenerys on Game of Thrones, and she was in Terminator Genesis.
I like her much more as a brunette than a blonde, but yes.
I actually like the platinum blonde a little better on her, because they're kind of this like, she'll sleep with me because she's got daddy issues and slutty kind of look. One of her first movies, her first full-length movie, was a TV movie that I think everybody needs to watch. It is an epic tale called Triassic Attack.
Triassic?
Triassic Attack. A Native American owner of a kitschy roadside museum accidentally brings to life 3 dinosaur fossils. Now really annoyed that giant dinos wreak havoc on the small town and the local university. It may or may not have been a sci-fi film, or sci-fi, if you want to call the channel that.
Huh.
It's the movie I think she's most ashamed of. I had to order a copy from China because it's not on. At the time I ordered it, it wasn't on DVD anywhere in the country.
I love it. I had to order it from China. Some bootleg copy off of a VHS transfer.
It's kind of how it looked, but also has like Chinese subtitles all over the box art and the back descriptions all in Chinese.
Nice.
And I was like, it took me fucking forever to find a copy too. It's only from 2010. And I'm like, I haven't had this much trouble finding movies from the 70s. But it was worth it because it was great. Almost as good as Age of the Hobbits.
I'm still waiting for 4 Days in November to come in, man. That still hasn't finished. Remember I told you guys, I told you and Quiz about that days ago? I'm still waiting.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
Well, you're fucking right it is. And then the guy puts up a fucking hour's worth of clips. Just put up the whole fucking movie. What do you mean an hour's worth of clips? That's pretty much the whole film. It's only 90 minutes long. I'm going to have to order 4 Days in November from China. I know chat doesn't know what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty far into my drinking at this point. Anyway.
Well, you can find a lot of good movies from Oceania, is what I've learned. Like southern China down to Australia. Any weird, obscure movie that's out of print here, like Song of the South, they've got it.
Okay, there's something that came up in chat here. PG, you still seem traumatized from seeing Will Smith's junk in Wow Wow. You see his junk? I've never seen that movie all the way through. I'm glad I stopped before his schlong started flipping in front of the camera. Fuck.
I don't remember that, but
let's see, where was I? Somebody brought up Superman 4 Quest for Peace. Well, Raymond Lewis did. Wasn't Superman 4 The Quest for Peace, but somebody brought it. Oh, Frankie O, there it is. Superman 3 The Quest for Peace. I think you meant to say 4. No one walked away from that one unscathed, Polly, because Gene Hackman's in it. And I said, Gene Hackman did a fine job as Lex Luthor in Superman 4 The Quest for Peace. Like I said, it's never him. It's the things around him. He even voiced Radioactive Man. What was the guy's name?
I think it was just Solar Man, wasn't it?
Solar Man? Was that
something asinine like that.
Jesus
Hold on, I'll look it
Christ.
up.
Was that his actual fucking name? And Solar Man was voiced by Gene Hackman. It was, I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor? And how bad is watching Superman Returns now, attempting to see Kevin Creepy Spacey attempting to do a lame impression of Gene Hackman doing Lex Luthor?
It was Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man, okay. It was hey, listen, Quest for Peace is a terrible fucking movie and it's worth laughing at. But you get the bonus of watching Hackman do his thing one more time. So, hey, it's worth it. There's something else in chat, but pretty loaded at this point, so I'm having trouble finding. Schlong of the South, Gaze for YouTube site.
No, Song of the South.
Yeah, well, it's a pun, Jack. It's a pun.
No such thing.
You know what's disappointing about Song of the South for me is that it's got Brer Rabbit in it, and it's only known as That Racist Movie. I love Brer Rabbit.
Yeah, everybody loves Brer Rabbit. How do you not love him? He's cheeky and adorable.
Absolutely.
Happy little bunny rabbit.
It's classic Americana, like as classic as America. Like that's American Aesop's Fables. Brer Rabbit? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but Chalmers' books, Raymond, no,
not Raymond,
whatever the guy.
Yeah,
the guy that wrote the book, he's considered a racist now because he was a white guy writing folk tales of black people, and of course the portrayal of the fact that the slaves were in the movie is considered a big no-no. Never mind, it's a historical piece. That doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, okay, first of all, that was Disney running amok with that shit that wasn't in the book, and he's writing Southern folk stories. So yeah,
what? Uncle Remus was the narrator of the folk tales in the book, as I recall.
Yes.
So he just simply gave it like connective tissue story about the Uncle Remus telling stories to this kid. And that's how they transition from short to short.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the animated part. So I understand why they did that. And they were trying to keep it within the historical context. So I get why they did it. But it's not that racist. I just watched it again the other day. It's really not that racist of a movie. Nobody says the N-word. there's like no real. They really downplay the slavery aspect, for good and bad, I suppose. But they're not even referred to as slaves. They're just sort of implied that they're servants. And they mentioned that, Uncle Remus told these stories to the kids in the household and out in the fields and whatnot. So I don't think it's that bad of a movie.
Well, the, I mean, along the lines of what you're saying, right? There's more objectionable, if you will, material in Gone with the Wind than there is in Song of the South, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that movie's all kinds of rapey for one thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, Jesus, Scarlett O'Hara slaps around what's her name. For God's sake, you know what I mean? You don't see any of that in Song of the South, but Gone with the Wind. Oh, it's.
But because there is a baby made out of tar, literally, that phrasing got them in trouble.
And that's the thing that bugs me. Okay, so you know Aesop's fables, right? There's always a moral there. The things that are great about the classic stories is that there's multiple morals, and that's what makes them great folk stories, right? But and there is a massive lesson to be learned from Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby. But you can't mention that fucking story because that sounds racist in and of itself. It was literally, just like you said, Jack, it was literally made out of tar. He stole the scarecrow's clothes and took pitch tar and made this thing to freak out Brer Fox. Or Brer Fox made it to trap Brer Rabbit.
Yeah.
I don't get you can't even reference a classic moral story now. Sometimes the only way to win is to disengage.
Yeah.
That's a great moral. Sometimes staying in it is the worst thing you can do. Get out. That's how you can win, not playing.
Outsmarting your opponent and not losing your temper, because he wouldn't have been in the situation if he hadn't lost his temper.
Right. Yep. They just classic folktales, but we can't mention it because of this description of a thing that it wasn't racist in the story, but has become such after the fact.
Yeah, if you actually read the book, it's very, very, very tame. So, I mean, all the animals are the ones in the book. It's not substituting for black people. It's literally Southern animals, like a fox with a Southern accent. Yeah, they speak in the slang of poor uneducated people of the time. That doesn't make it racist because poor white people talked like that too. Brer was just shortened from brother.
Yeah, and I was Vol Potato, thank you for the tip. It says it's pronounced Briar, not Breer. Well, I can't do the Southern accent to get from brother properly, and yeah, it's like Briar as in Briar Patch, but the Briar Patch. I don't know if I even was saying the way that he said it. Of all potatoes, said it because it's pronounced Briar. Well, the Briar Patch is pronounced Briar, but I don't know if I'm saying it the way you're intending it to be. But Breer, yeah, I know I'm not saying that right. I don't have the accent to get, like Jack pointed out, as a riff off of brother with that accent and the particular way they talked. I can't do it. So
yeah, it's probably closer to Brer.
Yeah,
but
right.
You have to grow up with the accent to, I think, nail it. Because
I mean, you have a good point of all potato. I mean, I'm not saying it right, but people should understand that it is Brother Rabbit. Like, these are anthropomorphized characters that are playing out human qualities in the way that they relate to each other, just like Aesop's fables, right? The scorpion and the fox and so forth.
It's just any old time fable. It's just ones from the South, and they were folk tales. A lot of them were probably based on slave narratives, that they would tell their kids to try and give them cautionary tales.
Yep.
So,
but you can't do that anymore, apparently.
Yeah, which is sad because it's, a piece of American literature that is an artifact of its time. It's just like Mark Twain.
Yeah.
But because the N-words in a Mark Twain book, we got to censor that too. I don't like censorious people, and when they tell you not to read something, the first thing you should do is go read it.
Rand doesn't like censorship, and then you got Mustafa and Zelthor in chat dropping their N-bombs. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck you guys. I enjoyed my little channel while I had it. It was a good bar.
Yeah, chat. If you get a chance to see Song of the South, I recommend it because it's a very underrated Disney movie, and you're probably gonna find some low quality VHS copy, but it's worth watching because it's not a bad movie and it's not nearly as racist as they say. It's just politically incorrect by today's standards. But that movie's from like the '60s,
Well,
so
like what Becca said here, I mean, like that thing, just like that's attention grab. My niece, 14, was going on and on about how racist it is, and then she came to find out that she's never seen it. She was repeating what her mom said. Like,
yeah,
yeah, that's very believable and depressing.
yeah, and there are themes of classism and segregation, just like Furry said, but it's all handled in a mature way and not in a way that kids are going to focus on. They're not like, "Oh, look at that black guy over there." No, it doesn't do that. There's poor white kids in it too that are kind of jerks. So I'd recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. But it's a shame that Disney locked that one away because it's probably never going to see the light of day again.
Yeah, and you know, Lindsay Ellis, former nostalgia chick from
I've heard of her. I've never
okay,
watched her.
from one of the refugees from Channel Awesome. Uh, she does quite well now because all of her stuff is doing woke feminist interpretation of Disney content. Because that's just, she's a woke feminist, a friend of Anita Sarkeesian, and she turned it into like a little cottage industry for herself to carry on like that. And she did a fucking review of Song of the South and tore it apart in all of the ways you can think. Like, in other words, the exact wrong perspective that we're talking about right now, not contextualizing anything, doesn't place it in any, doesn't talk about its Americana folk history. You know what I mean? Classic white liberal bullshit where it's like,
Yep.
you know, you need my protection, but doesn't build up any, like you said, there's folk elements, it's shared story, it comes from oral storytelling, doesn't accentuate any of those really cool aspects of actual black culture, right?
Yeah,
Instead, it's like, no, they need my defense. Classic infantilizing garbage, right?
yeah, and Uncle Remus, yeah, the motif of the happy slave is in there, but it's not nearly as strong as it could have been in negative connotations. It was about a guy teaching a young boy about lessons and morals through the folk tales that he's telling. And he's telling them to a white kid most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ridiculous to say that this is a racist movie when the person with the most influence and power in the movie is a black man, and an older black man at that, who is also disabled because he has to use a walking stick. So that's very ableist of them to disenfranchise him. I'm just saying. But yeah, I don't see what everybody's bitching about. It was a solid movie, and for its time, it definitely was one of the better films, I think, of its era as far as kids' movies go. But there's a lot of great Disney movies that nobody talks about from that time period, from like the 60s and 70s. Just nobody watches them anymore.
I'm surprised that somebody hasn't done like a woke version of it just for the hell of it.
Oh, well, give them time.
I mean, because I mean, it's a classic Disney move, right? I mean that they don't own that in the same way they don't own Cinderella and they don't own Little Mermaid. Like the story, I mean, it's all public.
Yeah, the story's all public domain.
Yeah. So of course they grabbed onto it. So anyone could do it. I'm surprised that somebody hasn't taken that and did a woke version of it.
I'll give it time. If they can't burn it, they'll manipulate it. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand the hatred for that movie. But I would like to see the woke feminist perspective on The Cat from Outer Space.
The Cat from Outer Space.
Yeah, you never saw that?
No.
See, forgotten classic. It's about a cat who's from outer space. When he has this little necklace thing on, he can talk.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking adorable. And Escape to Witch Mountain, Watcher in the Woods, which if you've ever seen the horror movie Burnt Offerings, that's the scary version of Watcher in the Woods. They're almost exactly the same film, except for like 15 minutes and near the end, they're very similar films. It's creepy.
Oh, I think I've hit the wall, man. And when the bartender is too tired and drunk to stand, it's well, it's time to close the bar.
That's what the kids tell me.
Well, so I would absolutely like to thank everybody who came by. It's been a while since we did a Noir Bar, and Jack, it's been a while since you've been here, so it's been fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys had a good time hanging out with me, and whilst I drank, and hopefully a bunch of you were drinking as well. So thank you everybody for coming by. Absolutely, thank you very much to everybody who tipped your bartender of all potato and my own Polly's potato. and Harry Channel and Manic, greatly appreciated. And thank you, Jack, for keeping me company at the bar. Good times. Come back again soon.
Yeah, thanks for the donations, guys.
And as we always say about this time after last call, you don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here. So we'll see you again soon. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.